Charlie Kirk, the true, shocking assassination. So I want to get into this because I want to reveal to you guys we have a shocking truth of this assassination of the death of Charlie Kirk. Now, Charlie Kirk assassination dispatch audio reveals suspect in black tactical gear carrying long gun. Shooter described as wearing all black with tactical gear fled after fatal shot from 200 yards away. The Utah Dispatch audio revealed moments after an unidentified assassin. It says fatally shot conservative speaker and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk on a campus Wednesday afternoon. So this happened right on a university campus Wednesday afternoon. The call came around 12:20 p.m., about 20 minutes into Charlie American Combat Tour. So let's get started here. This, you know, play this video for a second.
Shooting is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning.
All right, CNN, this update, this, you know what I mean, shortly, manhunt underway after conservative activist Charlie Kirk shot dead on Utah campus. Now it says Charlie, a conservative U.S. political activist and a campaigner from President Trump, has been shot at an event at Utah Valley University. The shooter, who is still at large, is believed to have fired once from a nearby roof. According to reports, which they said the shooter is still at large. So bear with me. We're going to zero into this. It says, according to the reports, it says the shooter was nearby a roof and a target attack, according to the Utah Department of Public Safety, which is leading the investigation along with the FBI. A manhunt is on the way. Two people was considered suspects was later released. The department says there have been an outpouring of condemnation from both sides, according to reports. Trump described Charlie death as a very dark moment. So according to reports, it says, as Trump, we made the Republican Party over the past decades. Charlie embodied the GOP newfound. It says that according to reports that Trump stated that Charlie was a very well-spoken man, very well high, you know what I mean, educated, you know what I mean, and he would have been president of the United States. So here's my thing on this whole takedown, you guys. There's 57 of you guys, and there's no lights. But according to this, you guys, reports that I wanna tell you guys, you know what I mean, the shocking revelation of this, man. Notice how everybody's speaking highly. Notice that not only people had, spoke highly of him, but this was simply an inside job. And it's sad to see a man that got to leave a family behind, his children's, his college league, and this was something where this job was an inside job. And I'm gonna tell you guys something, man. The sad thing is when they do get the shooter, they're gonna try to, you know, um, get closure from the family. But here's the thing I have a problem with. That when everything gets said and done, this thing won't be talked about anymore. Everybody can go back, living their daily life, acting like this didn't happen. We got the best policemen. We got the best homeland security. We got the best CIA. We got we got you know what I mean, the best private investigators. But nobody understand that families grieve by this. Many people hurt. Many people want answers. We have a political issue. We got white on white crimes. We got black on black crimes. We got police brutality. We got a president of the United States, urging heavy, military. And for every, reason, you know, it's going to bring more chaos, which we don't need. Now, I want to talk about America manufacturing killings. I say it again, America manufacturing killings. It's like, all these senseless killings, and there have been no solution. When it comes to assassination, when it comes to political assassination, this has to, get looked at in a way where a lot of us, we got to address this. We got to ask ourselves what's going on with our legal systems. What's going on with the political system? What's going on in the justice system? Let's go, cause I gotta cover up this, but let's go.
We've received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation. The FBI's mission is to protect the American people. It's to uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Right, that was the update from officials earlier today. We are expecting a brunch FBI news conference, and that is coming up really at the bottom of the hour, and we will be bringing that to you as soon as it gets going with the FBI and other officials on the ground there in Utah. Again, coming up at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be bringing that to you as soon as it does get going. But we want to continue to get insight on this active manhunt that continues for the suspect accused of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Let's bring in our next guest to help break it all down as the manhunt does continue. This is Ross Rice, former FBI agent. Thanks so much for joining us, Ross. And as this manhunt continues, we're seeing new images of the suspect, but just how crucial is it for these images to come out so maybe somebody could see and maybe look and say, hey, I know that person?
It's absolutely essential. Law enforcement relies on the public every day to help with investigations, whether it's reporting a crime, providing tips, identifying a surveillance photograph of an unknown suspect. I'm a little surprised that, given the quality of the images that they had, they waited as long as they did to release them. But they might have had a lead that they were trying to pursue or run down before they went public, because people like this, the shooter obviously is following the progress of the investigation through the media, just like you and I are.
Yeah, that's so true. And Ross, I was thinking about this earlier as this investigation continues, and I want to get your insight about, do you think the suspect is surprised that he didn't get caught, or do you think this was an elaborate plan where he felt he could get away from this?
Well, based on what we know,
Let me tell you guys, man. This was a inside job. But why are the governments, hiding this? Why are the shooters still at large? Now, this report came out 17 minutes ago as the hunt for Charlie Kirk killer goes on. Trump visit Yankee Stadium on a 9/11 anniversary as his vice president J.D. Vance escort Charlie casted from Utah to Arizona on Thursday ahead of a week funeral the president says he planned to attend. Donald Trump attend a baseball game at Yankee Stadium in New York to make the anniversary of the September 11, 2001 attack. Okay, so according to reports, it shows in a video from Fox shows that Trump engaged in some locker room talk with the players before the game, reminding them that he was good friends with George, the late owner of the team, who was convicted of making the legal campaign contribution in the 1972 to one of Trump's Republicans. I want to say this, fam. This is why I said this before, man. If Trump has some kind of sympathy, some kind of remorse, he goes to the Yankee game, and a lot of people grieve by this. Do you think for a second that the president is grieved? Do you think for a second that the president is grieved behind this? For every reason, you guys, I've been saying, why are they taking so long finding the killer? So here's the latest, you guys. It says Charlie shooting latest 4 new image of suspects released by Utah officials. The image appears to be taken from a surveillance video as Trump encouraged nonviolence response to a fatal shooting. Hunt continued for suspect who's fatally shot Charlie Kirk. How the shooting unfolds. Still, you have the shooter at large. Now let's go.
so far, there was some planning involved in this. was there to speak. He had probably known about the appearance for days or weeks in advance. He had thought this through. You can tell by the clothing that he's wearing, a baseball cap, dark glasses, nondescript clothing. It was his intent to escape. He didn't want to be caught. If he did, he could have stayed behind and continued shooting, but he didn't do that. So he had one person who was the target of his attack. He was unfortunately successful in carrying out that attack, and he was able to flee. Now, what is surprising to me, and I think speaks to his lack of total preparation, is he apparently left the murder weapon, this 30-06 bolt-action rifle, behind. He dropped it, discarded it in a field. It's been recovered by investigators, and that's going to be a treasure trove of leads to help in the investigation.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. You would think he would either just leave it right there where he was hurt.
Now it says what we know about the shooting of Charlie Kirk. It says conservative activist and turning point of the USA co-founder Charlie Kirk died Wednesday after he was shot at an event at Utah Valley University. He was speaking to a large crowd at an outdoor Prove Me Wrong debate, where he invites students to challenge his political and cultural views. Investigators now have the name of person of interest, according to 3 sources, though no arrest warrants have been issued. Authorities post image throughout the day, Thursday, of a part of an interest and asked the public for help identifying the individuals. A law enforcement official said investigators have good footage of the suspect and also recovers the weapon and used in the shooting. The Vice President, J.D. Vance, and Second Lady will fly with Kirk's body on the Air Force 2 of his hometowns in Phoenix, Arizona, according to our officials. President Trump paid contribute to Charlie and elected officials on both sides of the also swiftly condemned the attack and denounced acts of political violence. And here's my thing. How are they going to find a solution when it comes to these political assassinations? When it comes to police shootings? When it comes to these heinous crimes? This is why I said America is manufacturing killings. I say America is manufacturing killings. Now, according to reports, it says Utah officials shared more photos of a person of interest in Charlie's shooting. The Utah Department of Public Safety shares on social media 4 more photos of a person of interest in the investigation into Charlie's killings. All 4 images show a person wearing a dark clothing, a backpack, and a hat on a staircase. The post didn't specify when the image was taken. The 2 similar photos were shared hours earlier. So they got supposed to have an interest, be of the suspect. So according to this report, it says the Vice President plane Air Force 2 land at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airports with Charlie's body just before 5 p.m. local time Thursday. The Vice President flew to Salt Lake City earlier Thursday to retrieve Charlie's body. Officials familiar with the matter told CBS news, a turning point. USA staff members post on X a video of the president and several service members carrying a casket on the airport. So now, according to reports, a funeral for Charlie is set for later this month in Charlie's home state of Arizona. President Trump told reporters he said he planned to retain. So the president JD and Kirk was allied for years, with Kirk backing Mr. Trump selection of events as he running his mate in 2024. So now, with the suspects there at large, now you would think that they got a good description of the suspect. You think that they have someone of interest, but why is this thing taking so long? You know, why is this thing taking so long? What makes me think that this is a government cover up? Now let's roll this clip.
Or, he thought maybe he could take it somewhere, but obviously he leaves it behind. And like you said, there's going to be a lot of valuable evidence there.
My guess is that he took it with him. It was his intent for him to keep it, but something happened. He either dropped it, he encountered people, and he thought that carrying a weapon of that size would be a tip-off to the public, so he abandoned it, possibly hoping that it wouldn't be discovered, but I think that was a miscalculation on his part.
Yeah, no doubt, and just seeing some isolated photos there as well as new images coming out here. Rob, what would you say you are going to be really listening into for this next update that's coming up in about 30 minutes? We are going to hear from Kash Patel and others, but what are some insights that you want to learn about this update that will be coming up?
Well, they must have something new to report, some new information to share with the public. Otherwise, I don't think they would be having a press briefing, especially of this magnitude. They've already released the images along with some new ones. They have a reward offer of $100,000. They've publicized the fact that the suspected murder weapon has been.
Look, man, this is a government cover up, man. They assassinate this boy, man. This is a political government cover up. This become a political issue, become a political factor. Why was this man life taken? Because I told you guys, man, this man was going to be up one day to run for president of the United States, and then they didn't like the idea. Not only they seen this man growing and on the next, a rising, but this don't make sense. This don't make sense, man. No, but you got a lot of YouTubers. You know what I mean? I was watching my brother New Breed. A lot of people slandering, Charlie, Kirk. A lot of people, I just think that a lot of people, they process things different. You know what I mean? I have nothing against my brother New Breed. I really don't have nothing against Reno TV. But, we are a divided nation, man, with a lot of hate, man. I won't want nobody talking about me if I'm deceased, man. The hatred in this world, you guys, is real. You know what I mean? It's real. And it gone up into a, ultimate, scale where that hate is real, man. People never have nothing good to say, man. I've been hearing he's racist. I've been hearing a lot of things, man. But I sat back and been like, the people that highly know of him spoke high. The people that knew of him, they spoke very high of him. But I still think that this was a government plot, inside job, and still, man, the shooter goes at large. It seemed like they can't give you guys a good description of the suspect, man. You mean to tell me this is the best that they can do? You know what I mean? And then earlier I heard that there was supposed to be two suspects. Man, this is a government cover up, man. Let's go.
Recovered. My guess is they have a name to go along with the pictures, and they're going to be identifying this person.
Yeah, I'm an AI, but I'm here to talk apps. Real apps you can build.
So you guys don't think that this was a government cover up? I mean, he was the next Malcolm. He was the next Martin Luther King. He was the next JF. He could have been the next Abraham Lincoln, William McKinley. But y'all don't think that this was not a government cover up? Let me tell y'all something for a second. Trump was assassinated on 3 different attempts. They captured the shooters. They didn't hesitate, but they captured the shooters right away. But when it comes to a political, activist, he gets, he gets assassinated, right on the spot. Y'all don't think for a second. Now, I want you to use your discernment. You don't think for a second that this was an inside job, that this was a government plot. Now we got the best. Like I'm gonna go right back. We got the best police. We got the best homeland security. We got, we got the best private security. And you mean to tell me the investigation is still ongoing? See, so when that lady got stabbed, in the bus, they captured the killer right away. The killer couldn't even escape. It wasn't even 24 hours that they captured the killer. I'm trying to reason with you guys, trying to say use your discernment here. That not only this was just an inside job, but I believe the government, they know, they know what's up. But I've been saying that it seems like they dragging this, you guys, they dragging this out, man. Why? I don't know. I think they buying more time for for you guys to forget about this Jeffrey Epstein files, and you know what I mean. Let's go.
In minutes with Base 44. This finance app solves your business headaches. Tracking it.
They don't know who the killer is. They keep saying that we got a person of interest, but they don't know who the killer is, man. They keep saying that they got a person of interest, but they still don't know who the killer is.
Invoices, managing clients, keeping payments in check, all in one place. Go to Base 44.
Name here of the suspect. That just
Well, I seen four. You know what I mean? They have four people that's supposed to be a person of interest. We don't know, fam. We don't know what's going on, fam. We hearing just a bunch of he say right. You know what I mean? Right now, so we don't really know what's going on right now. You know, the last time I was, you know what I mean, looking at the reports, they had four people of interest. So we don't really know what's going on right now.
This opens up a whole new avenue of investigations for the Bureau and others to really try to get some insight on this person.
Yeah, yeah. They said the murder was, you know what I mean, was on camera, right? But I guess according to the reports, I guess they saying the camera was blurry. They couldn't identify the shooter. So I think that's where we at. You know what I mean? That's the reason why they reaching out for public help to identify the suspect. So I think, you know what I mean, from the cameras, from the, you know what I mean, views, you know what I mean, the photos is so blurry that they can't get a good description of a suspect. So they're asking for the public help. So, you know, this I think that's why, you know what I mean, the award was 100,000. So they looking for the public help. They seeking the public help to you know what I mean, to see whoever, you know what I mean, know the suspect. You know what I mean, where his last whereabouts, and you know what I mean. So it's still ongoing. You know, let's go.
Well, if they've established an identity, in all likelihood, he's been charged. It's not normal to identify someone as a suspect in an investigation if they haven't been charged criminally. So that would be the caveat to that to my earlier statement. But yes, if you have a name to go with a picture, it makes the investigation a lot easier. And now you have all sorts of digital communications that you can trace back to this person and use those to try and track them down, as well as credit cards, bank accounts, an automobile possibly registered to him. It really opens up a wide variety, a much wider variety of investigative tools for the Bureau and the local authorities in Utah.
You know, and Ross, when we look back yesterday at that rally for Charlie Kirk, there was obviously so many people having their phones out, recording, and you know there has to be just so many different angles of this. How does the federal resources really try to get those videos so they can see it maybe from different angles that maybe haven't been seen yet?
Well, I'm not sure how valuable the images, the videos taken by attendees that were on the ground would be. Most likely, they were filming Charlie Kirk. They were filming the interactions between him and the members of the public that came to see him. The shooter, according to authorities and the information they've determined so far, was in an elevated position approximately 200 yards away from the tent where Mr. Kirk was seated. So I don't think anyone caught that image. Now, it's possible that someone shooting from the opposite direction, filming from the opposite direction, might have inadvertently caught an image of the shooter, of the building where the shot came from, and now that they put two and two together, that would certainly help the investigators. But absent that, I'm not sure that their cell phone videos will be of much interest. You've got several already that have been publicized showing exactly what happened, and more importantly, you have witnesses, members of Mr. Kirk's staff, his security detail, campus police who were there, and they can certainly testify about the fact that he was shot and killed while he was on the stage.
And what is your insight? How do you feel? How long do you feel that this suspect was on the roof and really, aiming and getting his shot ready? I mean, is it something where he can get on there pretty quick and establish his area and a shot that he wants to take?
I'm not sure how long he was on the roof. I'm not sure investigators know that. Although with the videos that they have of him exiting the building, I'm sure they were able to find similar videos of him entering the building, so they'll have a timeline there. I don't think he would want to be on that rooftop any longer than necessary because he's exposed to any aerial surveillance. He's potentially exposed to people that are in neighboring adjacent buildings at a same or greater height that could see him. They see him with a rifle, and they're going to call authorities. So it's my guess that he got onto that position, which he previously staked out. Again, that's my guess. He got a clear shot, he took it, and he fled.
And lastly, Ross, what can you tell us about this this weapon that he had? Can you give us some insight to our viewers on this particular one that he chose to take out this heinous crime?
From what's been reported, it was a bolt-action 30-06 rifle with a scope. And with that type of weapon and a scope at a distance of about 200 yards, it doesn't take an expert to be able to hit a large target. When you're looking through the scope at that range, your intended victim is going to appear really close. And if the weapon is properly sighted in, and he had any practice, any experience using it at all, it's not surprising to me that he was able to accomplish his goal with one shot.
So sad. All right, Ross, thanks so much for joining us. Great insight and details.
Okay, y'all. This is coming from a Utah senator of John Curtis says, "I'm going to think twice about major events." The Republican Senator John Curtis of Utah says Thursday that Charlie's shooting at an outdoor event will likely cause his college league to rethink their approach to their own personal safety. The problem is I don't see a solution, Curtis told CBS News Chief Washington correspondent Major Garnett in an interview with the Take Out, noting that there are 100 sitting senators and 435 House members, of all whom travel extensively, attend many public events. I don't want to say it an occupational hazard, but many ways I just don't know how you solve this. And the alternative is also not acceptable, which is that we stay away from people. You see, they don't know how to solve this, fam. This is why I told y'all America don't have they don't have a solution. You know, I always say, you know what I mean, when we seen the assassination, you know what I mean, of John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy was a Republican political leader and spoke highly and favorable for the so-called Negro. And that's why I said when we see this kind of acts, you guys, you know what I mean, all steps got to be taken very precautionary. You know what I mean? When we see assassinations and people, you know what I mean, tipping at assassinations, things like that, it has to be taken very seriously when it comes to political assassinations. Now, this is more, you know what I mean, this has become more than a political issue we have. This become a political problem we have in the United States. So it says, according to report, it said, Kirk add, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to think twice next time I'm in a major parade just a few blocks away. I think all of us are going to be rethinking of some things, and I hope we can come up with a way that allow us to stay very, very connected to those who represent the center, says. threats against members of Congress spiked last year, according to the federal authorities. In 2024, the U.S. Capitol Police investigate nearly 9,500 threats and other concerning statements against lawmakers, their staff, and their families, up from about 8,000 a year prior. Now it says the investigators have names of persons of interest. Federal law enforcement believe it have identified the name of persons of interest according to two U.S. officials and law enforcement source. So far, however, no arrest warrants have been issued. The name of the person has not been released yet. Now let's go.
And getting us ready for this in-demand news conference that'll be coming at the bottom of the hour. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, Mike. Thank you.
Take care. All right, everyone. So again, we are going to be following the latest developments as they happen. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we will be bringing that to you live right here on Live Now from Fox. Let's take a 2-minute break while we have it, and more to come in just moments.
Church out. He began attending our church. I said, well, sure. We rent our church to a lot of different organizations. Well, about a week before that, he said, well, I've invited President Trump to come. He's agreed to come. And he thought we were going to cancel the whole thing right there. But my dad didn't raise me to be a coward. He raised me to keep my word. We signed a contract. We're going to keep our word. And so we had the rally. And I noticed some things within our leadership team. There were some people on our team who weren't walking in stride with us regarding some of these biblical values and issues. So it told me a lot about our team. And it really bothered me because I watched team members walk away. Some were...
Mike, well, it was just over an hour ago when FBI Director Kash Patel rolled onto campus here and pulled straight into the crime scene. And it was shortly after when we found out that the FBI state was going to be having this joint news conference here in just about 2 minutes. We know earlier today that officials canceled their afternoon press conference because they said that the investigation was rapidly changing and they were waiting for Patel to get here so they could have this joint news conference. But right now, what we do know is that the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk is still on the run, but authorities have released new photos of a person of interest. Investigators out early Thursday morning combing through the rooftop where they say a sniper fired the shot that killed the conservative activist. Now they're asking for the public's help to find this man, a person of interest dressed in dark clothing, a hat, and sunglasses. And they say they recovered a high-powered bolt-action rifle they think was used by the shooter located in the woods near the college campus. Authorities reportedly found messages on the weapon and ammunition, though their meaning remains unclear.
We find ourselves today having a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country.
The FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for anyone with information that leads to the identification and arrest of the gunman.
The suspect blended in well with
This telling me a lot where this country is going. It says a lot. It says a lot that, it tells me a lot, man. That the country is classified with outlaws. And no matter who we get in office, Republicans, Democrats, it just shows you that the country is classified by savage outlaws. And that this was the inside, job. And that, you see, much as the government's covering this up, we got the best, you know, we got the best homeland security, man. Enough is enough, man. But yeah, you guys, man, for more updates, please stay subscribed, please, man. Stay subscribed, share this video, and let's get justice, for the family, man. Let's get this justice, and let's bring the killer, let's bring the killing in, man. And let's get justice for this family, man. Because the family should be, they should have closure. But yeah, I'm going to be back, you guys, for more hot content, man. I'm going to be back. Until then, make sure you guys subscribe, man. Share this video, man. I'm out.